Going on? What's going on? What's going on? Straight to the point. Sports and entertainment. I want y'all to hit that like button and sub to the channel if you are not a member, and hit them notifications too. Do all that good stuff. Salute to the mighty LDBC basketball and boxing community, and salute to all of the people that rock with me, day ones, new subs, and the people that don't rock with me. Appreciate y'all too, man. The hate is very welcome. Um, I've been a little busy today, so wasn't able to go live as much as I wanted, but nevertheless, still gonna talk some hoops and then some football. But according to reports, according to Yard Barker, the the Philadelphia Sixers are looking to move Paul George this summer. They're looking to trade Paul George this summer, and I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. And the reason why I'm not surprised, man, is because this trade has not worked out. The contract that he signed is a pretty, it's a huge contract to say the least. I mean, when we talk about 212 million over 4 years, and then we're likely to be tanking, and we were projected to be, a more, a competitive team that was actually supposed to be, somewhat making some noise, but we just haven't. This, to me, I thought it was a good idea. Now, I do want to give a shout out to Kareem, the Kareem report, because he had said, I think it was about a month ago, that coming off of Paul George's contract would be the smartest thing. And I had always said the same thing, especially considering that it just haven't worked out. Look, uh, what's up with it? Pull up. I see you in here. Make sure y'all go sub up to the brother BJ over there at the Pull Up Podcast. Now, let me say this, man. This situation really hasn't worked out with PG, because I felt that Paul George, he wanted to walk into a different situation. Be sure to hit that like button when you come in here. Hit the like button, double tap the screen, and hit the like button, and also share the video too, okay? Um, Share the video, man. They haven't been sending out my videos, my notifications, all that stuff. So, get the word out, man, okay? For what it's worth. But Paul George wanted to be in a different situation, which I can't blame him. He's used to being in the playoffs, being in conference finals and stuff. And this year, that's not going to happen. I mean, people are even getting mad because fans are getting mad because we're not even tanking right. So far, we're projected to be, in the fifth spot to get one of the good, one of the young horses coming out of the draft. Um, but we're gonna have to start over, man. And um, as I've said before, and I'll say this again, it's gonna start with Joe Harris having the mentality that he did. Josh Harris. I'm sorry, Josh Harris, the head honcho of the Sixers. It's gonna involve him cutting the head of the snake off and getting in, replacing Daryl Morey and putting in Bob Myers, and then also going ahead and doing what we can to get rid of Joel Embiid, because it wasn't a healthy conversation in the front office between Joel Embiid, Josh Harris, and Daryl Morey. It wasn't a healthy conversation, and you can understand why. You said I'm starting to put your video in my community post. Well, no, it's all good. I appreciate it, but we know what YouTube is doing, BJ, man. We know what YouTube is doing to some of our videos, man, because we're speaking the truth. We're not sitting up in here. We're not trying to sugarcoat anything. And then, of course, you got some of these suckers hating, too, as well. But nevertheless, man, I appreciate it, BJ, man. I appreciate it, no matter what. Appreciate all the support, man. But, like I was saying, man, I'm not putting everything on Paul George. Did he get injured? Yeah, he got injured a couple of times with the hyperextension. But the one thing that I give him is that he's out there still trying to play, try to make some strides in terms of revamping his focus. Whether he did it a little later, whether he should have did it earlier. The point is that he revamped his focus by doing away with the podcast, and I thought that was a good thing. But now we're unfortunately stuck in a position in the 12th, 13th place in the Eastern Conference where we're likely not going to make not even a play-in, and that's not what fans had hoped for. Now, Daryl Morey, I really don't even think that Daryl Morey even cares, man. He doesn't even care, because if he really cared, and if the Sixers front office would have cared, they wouldn't even gave Joel Embiid that contract. And I'm not even getting on Paul George. I'm talking about Joel Embiid. And some people are tripping on the fact that, okay, well, he's 34. Why did they give Paul George that contract and everything? Whether we want to believe it or not, Paul George actually he held it down when Kawhi Leonard was not there. Now, he didn't play all that good in the playoffs, but the one thing that I give Paul George is that he did what he could when he was with the Clippers and everything. But it's demoralizing, because not only has Nick Nurse lost the locker room, which I can't blame. Nick Nurse has lost the locker room, and not only that, man, a lot of this is without Nick Nurse. It's out of Nick Nurse's control, because he was expecting Joel Embiid to come back, somewhat 100%. I'm not going to say fully 100%, but we were expecting to see Joel still in that rhythm like he was playing in the Olympics. Okay, and then Paul George gets there, and he's like, well, between me, Maxey, and myself, we could actually, be a force. I mean, I had people coming on my channel saying that, the Sixers were going to be, a competitive team. Look out, Boston, and all this other stuff. And I told people, I said, man, look, this probably is not going to work out. And everybody was like, oh, you're being negative. You're supposed to be a Sixers fan and everything like that. But and a lot of people, were like, why am I rooting for Maxey and stuff like that? Because Maxey was the one that seemed a lot more passionate going into the season. I mean, Paul George, he did seem focused and everything, but the injuries, like I said, it set him back. And then when you don't have continuity together, when you don't have chemistry together on the floor, it makes a big difference, man. I've never seen a team with so many injuries at one time. Well, New York is one, BJ. New York is one. Memphis is starting to be like that. Matter of fact, Boston was like that. You got to think about Boston. Boston's been like that. The Lakers, man. And I'm talking about this season. Think about it, BJ. You know what I'm saying? The Lakers, they don't have all their pieces. New York, you got Cat. He was just coming back from an injury. Now you got Jalen Brunson out for 2 weeks. Okay, I would have said the Clippers and everything. The Clippers, but Norman Powell, he was out for quite some time. He had came back and then because he's dealing with that hamstring. Those are some of the teams that I could think of right off the top of my head. Well, Houston's to a certain extent. Houston Rockets, because they're without Amen Thompson, and then they got a big hit without Reed Shepherd. Now I know Reed Shepherd, he hasn't played that much, but he did have a couple of good games or whatever. So, but yeah, it's the Sixers, man. The Sixers, they're going through it too, man. But I mean, injuries are a part of the game. Like Monica McNutt was saying, it's a next man up, mentality. Like OKC, right? I have to do this. I'm sorry, BJ, but I have to do this, man. The reason why I'm not letting a lot of excuses ride, man, is because you have a guy in SGA who's on the verge of being a runaway MVP, in which he should have been last year. Again, you have SGA who's on the verge of being a runaway MVP, in which he should have been last year, right? Playing short-handed. Okay, well, he was playing short-handed. He was playing without both of his bigs, right? And then now he's without Jalen Williams, if I'm not mistaken. Like, OKC has still been getting it done. They beat Boston, and I know they didn't have Kristaps Porzingis, but that's what I was saying about Boston. Boston can never stay healthy. Kristaps Porzingis never can stay healthy. Never can consistently stay healthy. But that's why I don't give a lot of these guys excuses or anything like that, because if Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is able to still go out there, oh shit, I hate to do this. I gotta do this. I'm sorry, man. Sorry. I didn't mean to do that. I'm up here driving. I'm sorry. Shit, I just cut in front of. Oh shit. Sorry about that. You said to start the season, though, Embiid, Lowry, McCain, KG. Yeah. KJ, yeah. Well, I mean, listen, you got to think about it, BJ. The second year, um, what Embiid's second year, him no Embiid's first year, him and Ben Simmons were out, and then of course you remember Ben Simmons, he ended up playing all those games. Embiid was still out. But yeah, I get what you're saying though. I get what you're saying, man. That like and but I can't but still though, man. Even with that, like now, okay, this is where I'm gonna agree with you to a certain extent. What you were saying about Maxi earlier this year, BJ, when you were saying if you're supposed to be the cornerstone of the franchise, you do got to step it up. Now, in Maxi's case, I do have to give him a little bit of the smoke in this instance, and this is the standpoint that I'm coming from. Like Derrick Rose, man, I always use him as an example. Now, I'm not trying to shit on the Chicago Bulls, right? But Derrick Rose, man, when he was going to the playoffs and when he was going to, taking the team deep and everything, and it was just Derrick Rose, he didn't really like. It was just Derrick Rose. Everybody else, they looked at it was kind of like Derrick Rose and the Temptations, so to speak. You understand what I mean? It was kind of like David Ruffin and the Temptations, so to speak. Like nobody, you can't really say that there was another superstar on that squad. You know what I'm saying? In Chicago, and they were still able to take uh, LeBron and them full throttle. So that's why, like, I don't make like a lot of excuses or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, it is demoralizing that you need a team, and that's where I come back with Maxi, right? Maxi's gonna have to, Maxi, he could only do so much and everything like that, but I would like to see him step it up even more. Now he did what he could. He was putting up numbers and stuff like that, but as much as I praise Maxi and everything like that, I still want to see him take that next level, that next level step to be like, okay, because Ja Morant has done it. Ja Morant has done it, man. Now they were successful. Memphis was successful without Ja Morant. You got to remember they went on a streak without Ja Morant. But like when I look at people that are shorthanded and they're still able to win, like that makes me look at your value a lot more. It's even like with Cade Cunningham in Detroit. Like look at Cade Cunningham in Detroit. Like when Ivy went out, guess what? Everybody thought everything was all lost and everything. No, and they still had injuries too. Jaden Duran had went out for a little bit. They had some injuries here and there and stuff, but the Detroit Pistons were still able to keep their head above water. Salute to SGA. We could have, man. Listen, man. Hey, I was thinking about that earlier. I was thinking about BJ earlier, man. With the Clippers, man. I was like, man, I know BJ punching the air right now, man. Like, damn, we should have kept SGA, man. Cause y'all didn't think like. Let's just be honest, man. The Clippers didn't think that SGA was gonna amount to anything. I saw SGA in college, man, and I think he was playing against Tennessee one time, and I was like, I don't know if this is gonna. I don't know if this dude is gonna make it. You know what I'm saying? Like I was kind of unsure, but I was like, man, this dude he's herky jerky, and this dude got a lot of energy and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And he's scoring for some way, but when he was at Kentucky, I just didn't see it. I just didn't see it for some reason. Just like I didn't see Emmanuel quickly. Now I saw Tyrese Maxey. You know what I'm saying? I'm just talking about Kentucky guys, but Anyways, that's that though, man. So yeah, the Sixers are looking to move Paul George this summer. Now, I don't know where he'll end up. Uh, I I don't know. I'm trying to think of some teams that would be a good fit, for him. But right now, I don't know where he'll end up, man. Uh, I would think that he probably wants to go back out west, like you were saying, pull up just a couple minutes ago. But I'm not too sure. But wherever he goes, I do want Paul George to be more successful than what he is right now. Like I said, man, I've criticized Paul George. It's no secret. But in a case like this, I mean, how can you? Okay, you coming into a situation like okay, if Jimmy Butler would have came into the situation with Golden State, and then Steph is hurt, Draymond is hurt. Well, okay, yeah, and then you got Kaminga out. Well, who just came back or whatever. But I'm just giving an example. You like, man, I didn't come here for this. You know what I'm saying? I came here because I thought that we were gonna, be a team. I had to have some people that are gonna rely on, that I'm gonna rely on. Paul George coming in, your main superstar, he hurt. He making these excuses. Oh, I can't play back to back and all this other stuff. You ain't want to come there today. You said I didn't regret getting PG. He was a top three in the interview before. Could have got. I would like to see you, Bruce. Well, listen, man. Listen, bro. He ain't listen, man. And I like Paul George, man. Now, if SGA is carrying the load a lot better, I, I'm gonna put you like this. Let me see him during the playoff. I want to see him during the playoffs this season. I felt like last season they did get robbed, but SGA is a really good closer, man. I think he's one of the top people in the league in fourth quarter scoring, if I'm not mistaken. Um, Much like Paul George, he was a Paul George was a to me he was better on defense. I'm talking about when Paul George before the injury and everything, he was better on defense. But SGA, of course, is a two-way player. He does play that defense. He is a hawk on defense. But I think the thing that is gonna separate them two now, once SGA gets this MVP, he's got bragging rights, and if the OKC can come out of the West, in which I do have OKC coming out of the West, I mean, we're talking about a whole nother conversation, BJ. I mean, you gotta put him. He's gonna be above Paul George. Now, all this stuff about him being better than Curry and all this other stuff, we're gonna have to wait for all that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got a lot more hardware, but for what he's doing and him consistently leading the team, and on top of that too, he's staying healthy. He's durable. You say I see OKC getting beat again, second round by the Lakers, Warriors, Clippers, and Nuggets. Nope, absolutely not. First and foremost, the Lakers, the Lakers, they don't have any consistency. Okay, they lack consistency. Uh, Bron, I know some people might think he hurt. Think he's not hurt. Some people do think he hurt. But let's just say, let's play devil's advocate, and let's say that he is hurt, a growing tear, a growing injury. That's something that he dealt with before. We got to look at that closely. You're talking about guys that have been hurt in that lineup, whether it's Rui, whether it's Jackson Hayes, You're talking about Luka, who still can't get his shot right. You know what I'm saying? He's still not he's not playing like Luka or whatever. He's shooting horrible in terms of his percentage or whatever. Still doing good with the playmaking. Then you got Austin Reeves, who sometimes forgets how to play basketball. What, he shot three of 15 last time. You know, and they don't have any rebounders. Go look at the last stat, um, the stat sheet, BJ, for the Lakers. You know who had the most rebounds? It was Luka. Nobody else had was in double digit rebounds. So you do the math on that. But if you would have had like AD, if you would have had like back in the day, you would have had Dwight Howard. If you would have had a JaVale McGee, if you would have had, some of them strong bigs like the Lakers are accustomed to having, then okay, we would be cooking with some grease. Now you mentioned the Warriors. The Warriors is the only team that I could see giving them a challenge. Clippers gotta have Norman Powell. That's why one of the reasons why I wanted to get up on your panel and say something. If y'all don't got Norman Powell, man, y'all not going anywhere. And let me tell you why too, BJ. This is what I wanted to say about now that we're talking about the Clippers for a second. Norman Powell smokes both Kawhi Leonard and he smokes James Harden in terms of the fourth quarter. Norman Powell leads the team in fourth quarter scoring, and he's like a plus 52. Okay, James Harden, he averages like 7.2, 7.3 in the fourth quarter. James Harden averages like I think it's like 5 or something like that. 5, it's like a little bit less than that. And then I think Kawhi Leonard, he's on the low end. He's like at 4 or something. James Harden is a plus 22 in the fourth quarter, but unfortunately, Kawhi Leonard, and that's my boy and everything, but he's a negative 22 or something like that in the fourth quarter of games. So if you look at that, and like I said, man, I don't do all this, BJ, man. I could do analytics. We could do all that shit. We could do numerics and shit like that. But I am an eye test. I'm an eye test guy. Even from the eye test, you need Norman Powell, man. You need Norman Powell, and Norman Powell, his presence, it might not be like a like you know a like a SGA or a Jokic or anything like that, but he's a guy that you really can depend on. And that's you're missing what, 24. I think he averages what, 24 a game. You need Norman Powell, but I like Norman Powell at the end of games. What's up with it, Kobe Bryant Film Room? Make sure y'all go sub to the homie Kobe Bryant Film Room. Lakers. Now the Nuggets. The problem with the Nuggets is they know how to beat Jokic. They know how to beat Jokic down the stretch. The OKC, but then again, the Nuggets can beat OKC though, so that's where it gets tricky. But I still got OKC beating them. You said, "Oh, I know Norm. We will have Norman Zoo." Yeah, but look, as much as I like Kawhi, we're not talking about the same Kawhi, man. And it, like if this was the Kawhi man, if this was the Kawhi man, Raptors Kawhi, or even when he first got to the Clippers Kawhi, I would be more confident in the Clippers than saying that the Clippers could pretty much beat anybody. But I'm gonna say this too, BJ, man, and I like Ty Lue, But Ty Lue, man, he be messing up a lot of things sometimes, man. You know, and I like him. He's a great coach, but you got to realize who he came up under. He came up under Doc. You know what I'm saying? So and Doc, he been known to mess up sometimes. That's why it's going to be interesting to see how things play out with the Bucks and the Lakers tonight. You know, so that's what I was gonna say. Hey, be sure to hit that like button when y'all come in here, though. Hit the like button when you come in here, please. Now, um, but I mean, if they go through Kawhi, now Kawhi still has been hooping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't put a lot of stock into the negative, positive, or anything. But I just wanted to bring that to the table because I don't think everybody talking about Harden. He putting up this, he putting up these numbers and stuff like that. Harden is a roller coaster ride, and you never know what you're gonna get from Harden, man. And he's always been predictable in the playoffs when situations get tight. Kawhi greater than SGA. Nah, he's not better than SGA, man. Not at this stage of the game. Absolutely not. Absolutely not, man. If you put, because you gotta think about who's number one in the West, man. Like they're number one in the West. They're a clear runaway. Nobody's even really touching them. Now, the Lakers or Memphis or something like that, if they lose a game they can't lose 2 games in a row. You know why? Because they'll drop. The same thing with the Lakers. But the OKC, they could lose a game or 2 and they'll still be in good position. And plus, on top of that, are y'all beating Boston? You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to beat some of these good teams too. In order to be calling yourself legit. SGA is going on a different coast. He's going on against contenders. He done beat the Cavs. He done beat Boston, the quote unquote contenders and stuff. Boston, the defending champs and everything. So, I mean, and SGA is he's getting it done, and he's getting it done in the clutch. Okay, he might have a down game. You know, it's crazy. A down game for him is like 25 points. So now, all time, I got Kawhi above SGA. But at this stage of the game, right now, who walks into the gym? I'm picking SGA all day. Now, if we're talking like all time, no degenerative knees, defensive player of the year 2 times, 2-time finals MVP, 2-time champion and Lombardi, I'm taking Kawhi all day. But right now, number 1 in the West, should have been MVP last season. Then on top of that, busting everybody's quote-unquote MVP ass, and on top of that, beating all these motherfucking best teams, I'm taking SGA. It's not even close. Even in a playoff series, I'm taking SGA. I love Claw. That's my nigga. He played the style that I like. I like both ends of the floor. I like the shit that people don't like, BJ. You know what I'm saying? I like people that actually gonna play defense. I like people that actually gonna try to fight through a screen. I like the people that actually gonna play help defense and then get back on their man. I like the people that actually can read a pick and roll in this era. SGA can do that. And on top of that, he's able to get his. And on top of that, he's able to play make. And on top of that, he's a winner. And on top of that, he still keeps it relatively simple. And on top of that, he don't care. He ain't begging for MVPs like goddamn James Harden and shit. and Joel Embiid, oh, give me MVP. He's like, oh well, I didn't get no MVP. Well, show him again. And on top of that, he's here to show you again that it wasn't no fluke like last year. They thought it was a fluke that they made it to the playoff. Well, shit, they doing it again, and they number one, and they clear favorites to win. Thunder is super tough. Do defend. Listen, they're in 9 different categories. Kobe Bryant film room and pull up. And Alex, salute to you, Alex. My bad, man. 9 different defensive categories. They're number one. Pull up. 9 different categories. They are number one. And the biggest thing, pull up, that I think the biggest thing that I look at for the Thunder, they're good in transition. They're good in transition defense, and they play like you can't just throw that ball on the weak side or anything like that. Nah, they will find that ball, and next thing you know, they're gone and they running. And they also good in the half court too, though. They good in the half court. Dog not what, however you pronounce his name or whatever. He got a pretty good offense. And on top of that, let's not forget, they were able to beat teams without a legitimate center at one time, man. They were playing small ball and they were beating motherfuckers. He said SGA ain't shutting down no one. Coach uses him in the dome. If he's not shutting down anyone, then how come he's ranked as one of the best two-way players, man? How come they always talking about two-way player? He can shut down somebody. I'm taking SGA all day. And even if he doesn't, lock up somebody, you know what I'm saying, 100%, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say he plays, against Ant-Man or, somebody like that. Guess what? And Ant-Man is a hawk on defense too. SGA still going to be able to get his. Now, you saw that game against Minnesota, you know what I'm saying, in which Ant-Man, he came through, he threw his stuff. It happens. You know what I'm saying? But you got to like the way the SGA bounces back. So, and then you're talking about like, and I like Zubac and everything, but at this stage of the game, Hartenstein and Chet Holmgren easily getting 15 rebounds, man. He had 23 and 15 last night. Nah, them bigs are good, provided that they're healthy, though. Provided that they're healthy. You got Caruso. You got Lou Dort. Ain't nobody talking about Dort, man. A slept-on defender, too. He all over the place. You said Boston shot a record number 3 last night and still lost. Listen, man, you live and die by the 3. And that's the thing about OKC. They could beat you in the mid-range. They could beat you inside. You know what I'm saying? They could play you physical. They could play you, like I said, a multitude of ways. And like I said, man, that's why I got OKC coming out the West. The only one that I see that can actually beat them is Golden State. And look, this isn't a knock on the other teams. Like, I could have said Memphis. I don't trust Memphis. You know why? Because Zach Edey can't stay healthy. They don't have JJ. They still don't got Jaren Jackson Jr., if I'm not mistaken. And you need Jaren Jackson Jr. has actually been the best player on the Memphis Grizzlies this year. I think he should be a All NBA. So, like I said, man, SGA, man. I know some people, they're looking at this dude, man, like, he he's a fluke or something like that, man. He been putting in work a long ass time, man. And I like the fact, I like his competitiveness, man. I like his competitive. And the two-way elite player. Well, if that's the case, what's going on with Minnesota? They playing short-handed, right? How come they not number one? Let's do the math on that. And besides, man, I don't respect Ant-Man. Man, listen, man. Ant-Man, he great on the floor and stuff, man. But take care of your responsibilities before you talk to me. Okay, so, but even still, man, you know what I'm saying. If you were that that good or as good as SGA was, you would have still been able to carry your team. What's his name? Ant-Man got his full squad, even though it's a new squad. He got his full squad. SGA was short-handed. I got to mention that again. Short-handed. He doing it short-handed, man. And then okay, I mean, he outplayed him that game in which he got the block or whatever in Minnesota got him. But what about the games before that? We don't want to talk about that though. So SGA still better than Ant. Nah, and SGA can move without the ball. He can handle the rock. He can get you in transition. Gotta look. Everybody looking at him as just herky jerky and stuff like that. SGA can get his any type of way, man. So I'm still taking SGA, and on top of that, man, he doesn't just settle for the three, like Ant-Man been doing this season, leading the league in three-point makes, if I'm not mistaken. Nah, man, get your ass to the rack, man. That's what we know you for. That's what we want, man. You know what I'm saying? That's what we want to see. When we said, okay, yeah, you got to focus on other aspects of the game. It doesn't mean just sit out on 3-pointers and stuff like that. Nah. We gotta see you do more. But I ain't taking nothing away from Ant-Man. Yes, he's a hawk defensively. I just said that. But at this stage of the game, SGA is just on a whole nother level than what he is. So okay, see that's right. I got them second round. SGA is 27 and it's only 23. Already went to the Western Conference Final. Yeah, that's great. I mean, listen, man, and he's still young. He's still young. They're both still young. You know what I'm saying? But can you do it again though? Is Ant gonna be able to do it again? Can he get there again? If you are what people talk about the face of the league and you know what I'm saying, the comparisons of Jordan and all this other stuff or whatever. Ant-Man he was up in there, he was getting doubled and double teamed and stuff like that. Now he know what Kobe was going through. Now he know what Jordan went through. That's why he went to Jordan for advice. That's why he was like, man, shit. Man, I wasn't expecting this. SGA, man, guess what? He figured it out. So whether he 27, whether he 37, whether he 47, whether he 57, 67, 77, 87, 97, you know what I'm saying? Shit. He's still gonna bust his ass regardless. And if he go to the Western Conference Finals and then he actually go to the finals, well, guess what? Guess who we got an edge on? He got an edge on Ant-Man. You know why? Because Ant-Man ain't been there. And we all know what happened. We all know what happened, BJ. We know that OKC should have been there. We all know that, man. Let's not act like, man, they got robbed. They didn't get robbed, man. But like I said, man, we'll see. We got it's right around the corner. Of course, we got March Madness and stuff. I've been focused on we got Selection Sunday coming up. So, but I'm gonna be focused on this, BJ. And I want to see what you're saying. Now, what if the playoffs started today? I think the Thunder, because Golden State is in the 6th spot right now. That's why Golden State has made a big jump. No, okay, see, didn't get robbed. Nah, they got robbed, man. We know it was a whistle. We know that the refs, they came out, the NBA came out, they admitted it. I think Minnesota messed up. Well, yeah, I mean, we know that listen, man, why, like, you're supposed to keep it when the iron's hot. Man, you're supposed to, listen, man, why would you do that when your chemistry is already set? you go back and you go run it back with the team that you had. They were getting better every single year. And then all of a sudden you send Cat over there to New York and now that's looking like a failure. You know what I'm saying? Because guys over there, you heard what Mikal Bridges said. So I mean, that was just dumb. However, Alex Rodriguez, he got majority ownership over there now. And then now you got one of my favorite players up in the front office. You got KG in there. You know KG, how bad he wants to win. I could see KG in that office pull up. I could see KG in that office, Kobe Bryant film room, like, look, motherfucker, we got to we got to put a better team around and get some Rough Riders in here. I can already see KG up in there. I can already see him making his presence felt, man. Said Minnesota is going to depend on the matchups, how far they go. They give us problems. The Nuggets can compete. They can't compete with the Thunder. Nah, man. Hey, listen, man. We all gotta. Hey, BJ. You know Kenny Rogers, right? You gotta know when to hold 'em, know when to fold 'em. Listen, man. At the end of the day, at the end of the day, man. At the end of the day, my brother. At the end of the day, pull up. OKC, I'm looking at them defensively. Okay, it's not all SGA. You know, I want people to understand that, and that's one of the things that I was looking at too. Now, there's the flip side, and on this channel, of course, we do carve things straight down the middle. Okay, so let me carve it down the middle. Okay, there's the flip side. There's the flip side. I want y'all to knock on wood when I say this, okay? Knock on some sort of wood or something when I say this. What if they lose SGA though? That's the question that we got to ask. Now, everything that BJ was just saying, then okay, now it's going to be a definite possibility because they rely so much. They rely heavily on SGA on the scoring load. Yes, you got guys on that team, including the bench that can get theirs. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what they had like I think six guys in double figures. If SGA is not there, God forbid something takes place, then what are they gonna do? See, that's the question. That's when the other guys are gonna have to step up, and that's gonna put you now. Now you're gonna be on a whole nother playing field. Weren't they number one last year? Man, the regular season rankings only go so far in the playoffs. No kind of matchup. Yeah, but listen, they were within one game from going to the Western Conference Finals. Man, let's not do that, BJ. Come on, man. Let's not do that. We know what happened, man. And you're right about that. That's why I don't have Cleveland now. By that logic, I don't have Cleveland coming out of the East. Let me tell you why. Not to switch the subject, but I look at Cleveland and everybody's like, "Oh man, they coming out the East. They coming out the East." I don't got them coming out the East. I don't got the Bucks. I don't got Boston. None of them. I got Detroit. I know it sounds crazy me saying that. Okay, I got Detroit because Detroit. I know everybody like, oh, they too young. They ain't never been there, anything like that. Imagine, like I said before, imagine if Cleveland faces Detroit. I'm just saying, if that happens, man, Bernie. I'm sorry about that. JB Bickerstaff, he knows pretty much all of those players. I mean, he practically raised those guys. I mean, Kenny Atkins, not to take anything away from him, but he's thriving on what JB Bickerstaff built. So he's gonna come in there, man, and he's gonna know those players' tendencies. He's gonna know their weaknesses, their strengths, all this other stuff. And on top of that, Donovan Mitchell, he does not perform well under pressure. If you go back and you go look at those past playoffs, you go look. I'm not counting last year. Last year he got hurt or whatever. But if you go back and go look at the Utah, you go back and look at the Utah days and stuff like that. He shot horrible in the playoff. His percentage was so horrible, man. Yeah, they are. You said the East is interested in me. I could see Detroit. Yes, because I like Isaiah Joe pull up. I mean Kobe Bryant. But this is the thing right here though. This is the thing we gotta look at though. I look at the pressure standpoint. Cleveland gotta get it done. Cleveland gotta get it done. If Cleveland don't get it done, man, they gonna be a laughing stock because they're gonna be like, oh, you number one, you the first team in a long time to win, have 2 different streaks in the season and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? Detroit, they got a whole nother year. They got years to come. You got a Jaden Duran, man, who's consistently getting better. Coming out of Memphis or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Easily getting a double for you. You got Cade Cunningham, Texas boy in the house, representing. You know what I'm saying? Ivy, hope that he gets back healthy and everything. You got Beasley. I know, man, he got that stuff going on off the court and all that other stuff or whatever. But he balling though. You know what I'm saying? He dropped that the Asian chick or whatever, got with another female or whatever. You know what I'm saying? He went from Larza to the Asian chick. Now he with somebody else. But anyway, I ain't trying to get on that. But the dude is balling. Okay? And then you got Tobias Harris over there. He playing good ball over there. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, you got my boy Tim Hardaway Jr. out there. You know what I'm saying? As well as a couple of people that coming off that bench or whatever. They got nothing but time. But you always got Cade Cunningham, slept on, MVP candidate or whatever, always getting better every single year. And on top of that, Cade Cunningham, he is so composed for his age, man. So composed. He got poise. Poise is a big thing. Stephen Green, man, I haven't seen you in a minute. Make sure y'all go sub to Stephen Green. If he's alive. Nah, I'm messing with you, Stephen Green, man. You said, salute, I'm impressed with OKC defense. Detroit's going back to win shit. That's what I'm trying to tell. That's what I'm trying to tell Pull Up, man. I'm trying to tell my boy Pull Up, man, over here, man. But he like, nah, F OKC. I'm trying to tell Pull Up, man. I'm trying to convince Pull Up, man. I know he a hardcore Clippers fan. I would expect him to be like, look, no, we gonna beat OKC. But you gotta give it up to OKC this year, man. You think Milwaukee? Nah. Let me tell you something about Milwaukee, man. The problem with Milwaukee, and shout out to 78 Sports. Shout out to 78 Sports TV. Y'all know who he is, the general of this LDBC thing. Without 78 Sports TV, there would be no LDBC. He brought up a good point. The Milwaukee Bucks, man, they can't play 90s basketball and expect to win. And that's what they're playing like. And Dame, you can't depend on him. Giannis is going to do his thing, of course. Brook Lopez, he's a statue. You need Bobby Portis, Okay, they've speeded it up a little bit, because they got, they got Kuzma and everything. But it's like Doc is still trying to run what he ran when he was with Orlando and all of that, and that's just not gonna work. And that's a very solid point. That's why I could see Detroit beating the Bucks. And if anybody know my channel, y'all know I rock with Giannis. That's why I don't have Joker above Giannis. You know what I'm saying? I got Giannis slightly above Joker, simply because what I'm saying, he got the Defensive Player of the Year, MVP in the same season. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know about that. I don't know about that, BJ. I gotta look at they play tonight, BJ, and I'm gonna definitely be looking at that. Um, but it's gonna come down to Dame. It's gonna come down to them being healthy first and foremost. Them losing what's his name for that 25 games, that was huge. Bobby Portis, he brings a lot to the table, toughness wise. Milwaukee has size to wear down on the Pistons. Shoot, what you mean? Man, Jaden Duran, do you know how much of a monster he is? He ain't no monster, BJ. That dude is a monster. Jaden Duran is a monster. That dude's a monster, bruh. That dude's a monster. And them dudes, they play hard. Ain't gonna be no tough task. Ain't gonna be no easy task. They ain't gonna just walk over Detroit like that. And on top of that, you got JB Bickerstaff able to turn around. Man, they are well coached. I think JB Bickerstaff he out coaches Doc Rivers. Hey, listen, that's a good point. That's another thing that I wanted to tell you. Kobe Bryant film room brought up a good ass point. I'm glad you brought that up. Kobe Bryant film room, Stephen Green, pull up. Listen to me. I was having a conversation with Cypress. Now, Cypress TV had always said that Jaylen Brown, he spoke on them, and he said this last year, they weren't that good when it came to closing and everything. Now, I'm gonna take it a step further. One of the reasons why I don't see Boston repeating is because, first and foremost, man, you can't depend on Porzingis. That's his name. Oh, Porzingis. Yeah, he's always hurt. Okay. Oh, poor Jingis. You know how they say, oh, poor baby. Oh, poor Jingis. It's like, damn, you always hurt. Every time you turn around, he hurt. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. And if they're not clicking, if they are not clicking, okay, whether it's playmaking wise, shooting wise, any of that, and I'm talking about Jaylen Brown, I'm talking about Jason Tatum. If one has an off game and the other one is playing good, they're not going to win. If neither one of them have a great game, of course they're not going to win. They both got to be clicking on all cylinders in order for them to win. So that's a good ass point that Kobe Bryant film room brought up. He only had 10 points, I think it was, right? He only had like 10 points. He only had 10 points, man, and they need more than. And I don't want to hear none of that. Oh, well, they didn't have Porzingis. You could expect not to have him. Hell, they didn't really have him that much in the finals. They didn't really have him. They didn't have him that much in the finals, man. So we can't expect. Oh yeah, well, man, man, they don't have him. You said they won't need much coaching to beat Detroit in the playoff. Honestly, bro, Bickerstaff, I don't have a playoff resume. What do you mean? He made he made the playoff. He made the playoffs last season. Had it not been for that injury, they would have made it. And JB Bickerstaff, he was able to take that team Cleveland, which nobody was even talking about, which everybody had looked over and everything. And then what? It was like I think like a 2-season turnaround, and had them back to being competitive again. Had it not been for the injuries of what's his name, uh, Jared Allen, who I felt like still could have played, and Donovan Mitchell with his old fake injury and stuff like that, man, they probably would have been cooking with grease. So JB Bickerstaff, he can outcoach Doc Rivers, and like I said, I like Doc Rivers, but Doc Rivers is becoming predictable. Anybody in the East can go to the finals. A lot of upset. Possibly, you said Tatum should get his ass to the mid-range and attack the basket. More analytics and shit. Well, he's been doing that. I gotta slightly disagree with you on that. Kobe Bryant film. I understand what you're saying, but you got to think about how he was killing the Lakers. He was going to the basket. He was driving. The problem, look, they could shoot their threes and jump shoot. That's what Tatum is gonna do. That's his game, man. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna pull up. He can shoot the mid range and do all that other stuff. The problem is he gotta be consistent. Like, you gotta think about it like this too. Kobe Bryant film with Stephen Green and BJ. Check this out. Tatum really didn't shoot that well in the finals, but guess what? He made up for it being a playmaker. He made up for it with his rebounding. He made up for it with for his defense. He made up for it for his attention to detail. He made up for it for him making that extra hockey assist. And on top of that, he was better in the plus and minus than Jaylen Brown. That's why I don't sit up here, oh man, he shot like trash, and no wonder he didn't get the Finals MVP. Didn't matter. He still got the Larry O'Brien. That will open up for everyone else. You think so? Okay, we gonna see, man. You know, BJ, man, we gonna see, man. Matter of fact, y'all know BJ be calling the games too, so I gotta go to I gotta go to BJ, man. If he calling the playoffs, man, hey VJ, I'm gonna come there. I'm gonna come there with the popcorn. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna come there with my soda. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm saying? I might even throw some meat on the grill. Nah, that ain't gonna happen though, man. Y'all act like Jaden Duren. Y'all act like Jaden Duren, man, just a pushover, man. Jaden Duren can rim protect. That nigga is easily gonna get rebounds, man. And I like Giannis. Giannis gonna do his thing or whatever, but Giannis gets tired too. Giannis can only do so much. Come on, Soprano. Man, I tried to that last time. There was something going on with the StreamYard or whatever at that time or whatever. But next time I will. I was trying to get on there that last time or whatever, but then I had to go or whatever. I'll be really busy throughout the span of the day. Sometimes when you go live, but yeah, I try to come in there when I can, though, man. But nah, man. Listen, man. I'm anxious to see what's gonna happen, man. If they do happen to play, if it plays out like how BJ is talking, if like the Clippers so happen to play the OKC, I'm gonna be like, okay, my nigga BJ, he said this. All right, I'm gonna focus on this and I'm gonna see what he's talking about. And if it happens to play out like he talking about, I'll come on here, man. Man, hey, I'm a man about mine. I'll be like, hey, I was wrong. And then with Detroit, whether they play the Bucks, I know they're gonna beat New York. I know they could beat Boston. You know what I'm saying? And I know they could beat Cleveland. We'll see what happens. Tatum set the table for everyone, was getting double teamed. I think man. He had a good case. Drew Holiday could have got Finals MVP. I mean, Drew Holiday shut down Kyrie like it was nothing, man. I mean, and I like Kyrie, but Drew Holiday saved that series. Like, he put the clamps on Kyrie, man. We like, damn, Kyrie, man, like he forgot how to play. Everybody talk about freeze up and all this other stuff, man. Kyrie, man, like when he went to Boston, man, he let them people get in his head, including Drew Holiday. You said Minnesota is getting their rhythm. Man, Ant-Man, listen, bro, I don't respect Ant-Man. Until he take care of his responsibilities, I'm not even mentioning Ant-Man. Claude gonna whoop SGA. It's hard and I'm worried about. Nah, that ain't happening, man. Man, he gonna put the moves on Claw. You know what I'm saying? Hey, SGA gonna put about 50 on y'all, man. Harden, you do gotta worry about. Listen, BJ, what is Harden known as? He's known as a habitual playoff choker. You know what I'm saying? I mean, do we need to go back? Let's go back to when he played with the Sixers. He was horrible in the last game of the playoffs. Let's go back when he played with the Rockets, for example. He was horrible when he played with the Rockets numerous of times, including getting blocked by an old-ass Ginobili, including setting the record for turnovers in a playoff game. That's the same Harden we talking about. Great, he'll play great in the regular season. You know what I'm saying? You do all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? Even got what's his name? Somebody saying that he was one of the top shooting guards of all time or whatever, but last time I checked, the top shooting guards of all time, like a Jordan, like a Kobe, you know what I'm saying, were able to get it done, like a Dwade, who I'm about to talk about next. I'm about to cook his motherfucking ass too. They were able to get it done in crunch time. They were able to get it done. Like when we talk, I'm not even gonna mention Jordan or Kobe. Let's talk about D-Wade. 06, he put the whole goddamn team on his back, including Shaq, who was non-existent. Put the whole damn team, man. They was close to losing that goddamn series. And guess what? It was 06. D-Wade, man, brought that whole motherfucking team back. That's what I'm talking about, man. My problem, he always been selfish. And listen, and this is the thing. He'll have all these assists and stuff like that, but he'll have just as many turnovers as he does assists, man. You can't do that. You can't do that, man. And then on top of that, you shoot a horrible percentage too. But then you bounce back, you get 50 or whatever. Nah, you got to be consistent, man. Like, nah, like Harden. And you know what? I'll put you like this, BJ. I think you've been out that way for a minute. If anybody know Harden, because he from LA and everything. Harden, actually, I appreciated Harden when he was over there at Arizona State, a young Harden. And then Harden going to OKC. You know why? When he was a sixth man, Harden was actually playing defense. Harden was actually doing everything. That was the humble Harden. Man, he got to Houston. Only good year that you could really say that Harden had is when he played under Kevin McHale. And even then, he started bumping heads with Kevin McHale. So we could go back in the history with Harden. Man, Golden State, man, something ridiculous. Look, they were calling I was probably the only one in the minority defending Jenny. I said, oh Lord, I said Jenny. Jimmy, my bad, y'all, Jimmy. I was the only one defending Jimmy. Everybody else was calling him everything but a child of God. They were talking about he was a problem child. They were talking about this dude he should go ahead and retire. people talk about shipping him to Washington or the Pelicans or Charlotte or somewhere. You know what I'm saying? Where he could be out of the league. And man, they were saying all types of stuff then. Man, those turnovers he made them unbelievable. Damn near look like. Yeah, man, and that's another thing. Somebody else said that a while back too. They said that while he was in Houston, and they were actually saying that that's why, like, Russell Westbrook was getting upset with him when he was over there in Houston. Russell Westbrook was getting upset with him about this stuff, and that was they friends. You know what I'm saying? But I want to talk about this before I hit this gym up, man. Um, Dwade came out and he basically said that we all know everything that went on with LeBron and him jumping in the face of Stephen A. Smith and all that, and then of course Stephen A. Smith went on various podcasts. He done talked about it on First Take. He done talked about it on Gil Arenas. Shout out to No Chill Gil, and he done went on Skip Bayless's show. And then of course some people are speculating that there might be even tension between Stephen A. Smith and Shannon Sharp. Shout out to Carcino for Life for pointing that out too. But D-Wade has came out on record, and he has basically stated that he would have jumped in Stephen A. Smith's face too. Now, listen, man. You said Jimmy, to me, is the most like Kawhi. Yeah. Only difference is that, Kawhi actually got over that hump. And Kawhi, he got that hardware. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I Jimmy Butler represent Texas all day. And I like his style of play, you know what I'm saying, playing both ends. But I want to see him I want to see him get that hardware. But to get back to what I was saying, D-Wade said he would have did the same thing. Okay. Now, D-Wade, man, he's been the butt of controversy, especially when you talk about, his child. I'll just put it to you that way. And, the transformation that his child went through and everything. So, D-Wade is probably used to a lot of criticism. He's probably used to seeing a lot of stuff online and stuff like that. But, I mean, D-Wade need to hush too. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing about it is, and I think what people are forgetting, and Stephen A. Smith, you know what I'm saying? Even though he went on Gil's Arena, he wanna be on his dead presidents type shit. You know what I'm saying? On Gil's Arena, you know what I'm saying, being all hard and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And, when you should have had that energy when LeBron was in your face at the game or whatever. But anyways, listen, I think the thing that people are forgetting is that Stephen A. Smith did not criticize your son. He was criticizing you as a father. So I say this to D-Wade. Shit, you would need to sit your ass down too. Because, the last time I checked, you sitting up in here and you supporting that stuff or whatever that's going on with your son, daughter, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna go down that road. But at the same time, this was a situation where Stephen A. Smith actually was right about a lot of things. And he was right in the sense that he was urging you as a father to save the embarrassment out of your mere selfishness. And when we talk about LeBron, because it was selfish. It was selfish of LeBron for what he's done. Listen, I keep telling. I think Pull-Up had heard me say this. I think Kobe Bryant has heard me say this. I think Stephen Green has heard me say this, and Alex. You should have waited at least 3 years. You have time for Bronny to develop. Cam Jones, who plays for Marquette right now, he's way better than LeBron. I mean, Bronny James. He's way better than Bronny James right now. He could play in the league right now. Cameron Jones that plays for Marquette, he's a guard, about 6'4". You know what I'm saying? In college, he plays better than Bronny. However, guess what? He chose to stay in there and develop. He chose to stay in there and develop. You're wanting to do this, oh yeah, I'll be the first to play with my son on the team, on the same court and everything. You could have did that on the farewell tour, my nigga. You could have did that on the farewell tour, nigga. You got 3 more years. That man, he go have a better year that very next year at USC, ball out, have a chance for an off season, preseason, all that other stuff, work out, do 2-3 a days or whatever. Go to UCLA, go to Rico Hines, be balling or whatever. Hey, Rico Hines will tell you the brutal truth, yay or nay. Go back in there, for another season. Bam, it'll be your what? I think it'll be your junior year. Okay, got a little bit better, maybe had like 18 points or whatever, then come out there. Then you ain't got to worry about all this fiasco about people cheering just because you made a goddamn jump shot. Nigga, that shit falls on you, LeBron. That don't fall on Bronny, and ain't nobody criticizing Bronny. Because I feel like Bronny can make it. Now, I'm not saying, I don't know what his ceiling is. But I've never been on my channel, like I said before, and said, oh yeah, Bronny trash and none of that other shit. That's these other motherfuckers that's talking. I see motherfuckers that have no business talking about Bronny, that can't even run up and down the court, that can't even, they can't even run a goddamn lap, but they criticizing Bronny. Okay, nah, that's not me, because I played the sport. Dwade, he should know better. He should be like, you know what I'm saying, really on Stephen A. Smith's side. But, of course, he going to take up for his banana boat friend, pause, and all this other shit. Dwade, you ought to be ashamed of your goddamn self. Matter of fact, man, you let Gabrielle Union come up in there, man, and control your motherfucking life, if we really being honest. You said, my bad, y'all, I got to read this. You said they talking about everything but D-Wade and LeBron joining together to beat Kobe a second time and know that story. What I don't like about LeBron conversation always goes away from basketball. Now we talking about fatherhood. Listen, I give respect to him as a father and all that other stuff. But when we criticize LeBron about his, about him, we talk about his game. I don't try to take it to a whole nother level. But the thing about it is you made it about it. Like, LeBron, you made it about this. You know what I'm saying? You like, yeah, I want to be the first to do that. I want to be the first to do that. Well, you should have did it this way. And you get mad at people, you know what I'm saying, from what you done read online and what they saying and stuff like that. Man, that's your fault. And people will tell you straight up, like myself, a couple of other brothers, they tell you, I don't fault Bronny for none of this. I don't fault him for none of this. Because you wanted to put him in a situation knowing damn well this dude wasn't ready, knowing damn well that this dude needed more honing on the skills, knowing damn well that this dude, could not be on the roster. And listen, like I said, man, I don't mind nepotism because it's been done by them other people for years. You know what I'm saying? In different cultures or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Grandfathering people in. You know what I'm saying? Getting people in, sliding them in, and everything like that. You know, look, it's been done for years. And I know some people get mad at me. You said he be gaslighting us and be talking shit when people say something. Yeah, you want to play the victim. Now you got Dwade, you know, he up in here trying to come and throw a life jacket, man. It's like, you know, being in a fight, Kobe Bryant, like, you want some of this too, old man? Shit, I'm like that too. I'm like, nigga, you want some of this too, Dwade? Cause we could definitely get on you, nigga. You ain't even got control over your goddamn household, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, man, let me stop, man. I'm from the outside looking in. You know, but you gonna sit up there, you would have jumped in his face too. For what? Because he told you to, like, he's urging you as a father or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And he even told you that he really didn't even want to talk about Bronny having, you know, low stats and all this other stuff. But he had to because that's his job. But it ain't like he trashed Bronny or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? They weren't putting on the rodeo music. How about coming to the defense of Westbrook when they were playing all that rodeo music and stuff like that? When they were doing that on Undisputed and stuff like that, y'all don't say nothing like that, making a mockery of Russell Westbrook, who was in the league, even going so far as his wife saying something. How come y'all won't talk about that? Y'all embarrassed Russ. You know, you got his family on national, looking at national television. You embarrassing him and stuff like that. But now you mad, looking like, oh man, keep my son's name out your mouth. You on some Will Smith Jada stuff at the Oscars or some shit. Man, get up out of here with that, man. Get up out of here with that, man. Like now, had Stephen A. Smith had said something personal about your son, I would have been all for it. Had Stephen A. Smith said something disrespectful about your son, your daughter, you know what I'm saying, about your wife, any of that other stuff, I'm all for it. But in this case, man, he was criticizing you. He was criticizing you about what you did, about that embarrassment that you putting your son through, and everybody saw it. It's just that now that Stephen A. Smith, he actually put it in there, and he's telling you, and now that it's nationwide and stuff like that, you know what I'm saying? Hey, look, shit, somebody had to tell your ass. I find it hard to believe a billionaire is going to hit a millionaire with all those cameras in instead. Hey, man, if he do that, hey, that's whatever. But Stephen A. Smith, I mean, he did get the bag. Now, Stephen A. Smith, listen, I'm not going to let Stephen A. Smith completely off the hook because you can't sit up there like, no, you need to stand your motherfucking ground. You need to stand on business. You know what I'm saying? Don't be all like, oh, well, you know, try to do no pullback or any of that other stuff. But at the same time, like I said, man, he was talking about he had just got paid and, you know, he working for Disney, all that other stuff or whatever. Me, I'm cut from a different cloth, you know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure you are too, Kobe Bryant Film Room. And I've been like, yeah, we said it. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, why you want to do that, you know what I'm saying, in front of everybody? No, talk to me, man to man. You know, let's go behind the scenes or something like that. You want to do it to make yourself look hard. You know damn well you got 7 inches on the dude. You know what I'm saying? And 100+ pounds extra on the dude. Everybody know damn well you know you towering over that nigga. I mean, everybody already looking like you finna debo the nigga. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, everybody gonna be like, oh man, he got punked. He stood on business. I didn't see it that way. What I saw is like, okay, you couldn't wait. Nigga, you in the middle of the game, nigga. What you want to do, Malice at the Palace or some shit like that? You know damn well that motherfucker ain't gonna do shit. What I'm saying is that you like, what I'm saying is, you, like, let's just call it what it is. He pulled a bitch move. I'm just being honest. And that's what Stephen A. Smith has said, that, you know, he was it was weak of what he did, and it was. Now, had they been like, you know, in another environment or something like that, you know what I'm saying, and you know, no cameras or something like that, okay, that's fine. But you want to do it when all the camera. You know damn well if you hit Stephen A. Smith, or even if Stephen A. Smith hits you, you know what the consequences and repercussions of that is. If everyone don't kiss his ass, pause. He get mad. People are going to disagree, and it's okay. Oh, it's right. I stand on everything I say. I know no apology. Yeah, exactly. That's facts. That's facts. And like I said, man, if it had been a different situation, Kobe Bryant, man, where he was disrespecting Bronny, because I don't like some of the disrespectful things that have been said about Bronny. You know what I'm saying? I don't. You know, I don't like the personal, but if somebody come on my platform and say he's trash, he's this and that, I'm gonna just disagree with them. But everybody got a right to their opinion. You know what I'm saying? Now, do I feel like he's trash and he garbage and he god awful and all this other stuff? Nah. I mean, you can't be god awful and be able to play amongst in the G League or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You got to have some sort of something got to keep you there. You know, but I'm actually rooting for the dude, and I really didn't want him to play anymore because of the heart situation, the cardiac arrest. I've had unfortunately I had a friend that um, he died on the basketball court. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of near and dear to me. And so when he got back out there, I was kind of like, man, I don't know about this. And that's what kind of like when I looked at LeBron and him, it was kind of like he was trying to rush him to, hey, did you do this? Did you do that? Or something like that. Where nah, you want to let the dude go at his own pace. Matter of fact, he really don't even need to play basketball, to be honest with you. And it's kind of like making it look like he's forcing him to do something against his will. You know what I'm saying? If the dude want to sit around and play Call of Duty, let him sit around and play Call of Duty. My thing is, if Bronny ain't on the court, I don't talk about him. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point, man. You know, we got to stop making him headline news and stuff like that. Like nah, he's a they're not talking about all these other guys, but you got to realize whose son he is. You know what I'm saying? And that's the publicity that he's gonna get. You know. At one point, man, I mean, people got mad at me. I was just like, man, Juju Watkins is making more noise than him, Kobe Bryant. You feel me? I like Juju Watkins making more noise, but like I said, man, that's what comes with the game. Criticism comes with the game. I was gonna talk about Aaron Rodgers, man, but I do gotta go, y'all. Man, we'll talk about Aaron Rodgers a little bit later. But again, make sure y'all go sub to my brother, the Pull Up Podcast over there with BJ. You know what I'm saying? Definitely goes down over there. And also go sub to the homie Kobe Bryant Film Room. Definitely on the come up. Let's run them up. You know what I'm saying? Definitely got dope content over there. You know what I'm saying? Always gonna bring that actual factual over there too as well. Till then, y'all, man, like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notifications too. Straight to the point, sports and entertainment. Shouts out to the whole entire LDBC. I'm out.